Man, aren't you just a super dope guy? Uh... One second. And then
Here I am, a man no longer, a monster instead, unworthy of the conduit's grace.
Counselor Jake, I presume?
The very same. Jake, counselor by day, sorcerer by night, martyr in death.
You say you're a martyr? What do you mean by that?
Do you contest it? You presumptuous dog. I died serving the conduit. Leandra! Leandra! Oh, blessed conduit! I'd have followed you till the end of time. But it wasn't to be. I was struck down in the prime of my sorcery. And by whom? Leandra's own sister. The pox upon her.
Hold on, so you're killed by the conduit's sister?
Ikara! I spit on every syllable. They call her the White Witch. She is powerful in her own right, but never would I have thought she'd challenge her sister Leandra and kill one of the most loyal. Me. Very little indeed. What concern was that foul woman of mine? White Witch, perhaps? The black sheep of her family, too.
Maybe a better healer than Jhans?
She shunned her sister's teachings. Can you believe that? She could have been the very conduit's right hand, but she shunned her. Oh, take vengeance upon her, blessed Leandra. I invoke you. Open her veins, bleed her dry, give her a function at last.
Oh, aren't you fun?
My murder, a tale of woe. The time, a misty midnight. The place, the King Crab Inn. The players, myself, the Ikara, and a stranger whose identity I have never established. The conduit was there to meet with this stranger, and had tasked me to stand ready to overpower him if necessary. I heard sounds of passion at first, but later of angry argument. Then I heard Leandra's command, and I entered the room. She swerved past me, and oh, I can still feel the rasp of her holy breath upon my ear. Whispered, "Finish him." The man lay on the floor, struck down, and ready for my knife, which I plunged deep into his heart. Yet, but not a moment later, Ikara burst through the window, and I was defenseless. She savagely tore my life from my body, and I died in the glow of the source. A holy martyr, slain in the name of the conduit. Foolish grasper. She who thought herself the conduit's favorite couldn't stand that I had been privileged as a confidant. When she realized the conduit had been in the inn the night I was killed, she couldn't stand to think that I had been trusted where she had not. She brought me back to unlife so that I would reveal what I knew. She wanted to work her way back into the conduit's confidence. But as you saw, Leandra had no interest in Evelyn's petty tricks. Yes, yes, the king is dead, but not for long. Long live the
Alright.
Rex has no equal, Hunter. His knowledge of the source is absolute, and through him so will the conduits be. The hour is nigh. You do not realize it yet, but his axe is falling towards your scrawny neck. And I'm of little use to Leandra's cause now. My worm-eaten rind is an insult to her perfection. To my grave, then, I will go. I suppose she'll not grudge me my portion of rest.
He's just gonna climb back into the ground, little fucking freak.
Well, we found out what
This is valuable.
the murder was. So I suppose we go back.
We have 2 things we need to investigate. Ooh, bloodstone. Don't know what it is, but I'm taking it.
Fortune.
It's 2 things we figured out. We figured out
What is that?
the doctor. We figured out about the doctor. And we figured out this stuff. So I guess the wife didn't do it. He's still fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like she planned to kill him, and then
I feel like we're gonna go back and find out that she did plan to kill him, and it just turns out like all of this just kind of lined up for her. Not much on the
There-
side.
did I check the books or the?
You can check
No,
the
I
desk.
think it was the desk. Check the desk.
Money. Money.
Yes, that's why I told you to. I like how we can interact with these torture devices, like laying down on them, and I think that's what they were doing, by the way. That's probably why they were weak.
I have sent you several things. Please identify them.
What does this have? Dexterity 1, Perception 1.
Is someone mowing the lawn or something?
I couldn't hear that, but yeah, it seems like that is indeed happening.
Well, that could have gone.
Sundays to you.
That could have gone significantly worse, but it didn't.
She was like, ha ha ha, I will show you how powerful Source is.
I'll show you
Peter.
the power of a winter
No
wonderland.
source. No source. Oh, there's another book that says blasphemy. That work. Just laying on the torture belly sung.
Yeah, we kind of just came in and said, fuck ya, and did what we wanted. Man, you should have summoned Canadian demons. Maybe you would have had a better chance, but you went and summoned the regular kind. I don't know why the quest marker still says there's quest here. We've looted her. We've got everything.
Is there maybe some evidence we need?
Do we cut off her head and take it?
Do we pick just her up in general? Probably. Maybe. I don't fucking know. Oh!
Ah, don't sit in the chairs!
Back on my feet again.
Wow. The people with the billion torture devices. Who could have seen this coming?
I needed that.
Look, I don't need your fucking sass, okay? Here, have another bomb arrow. Fucking Legend of Zelda Link-looking motherfucker.
Do you not see who wants to talk here? I'm gonna talk to him, but
Oh,
like,
Sweet relief.
As good as a new penny.
I am good as a new penne.
okay. Talking to him.
Pain wrought by sword and sorcery stalk this stiff, stirring strumpet beyond the shores of death. Once more we have stumbled upon an amateur. One who disfigures the pallid elegance of necromancy's visage with rank and vulgar imperfections.
Of course you're okay with necromancy as
She
long as it's
dabbled
done
with
right.
flesh like a child with its pudding. She was deaf to the screams of her victims as she made the scalpel glide through exposed limbs with the easy grace of birds through air. And for what? For nothing but to command death.
You know, honestly, I thought he had
true
more to say about the
necromancer.
demons that she summoned.
It is life he wants to command. Immortality. Achieve this, and the screams of agony will not have thundered forth from tortured throats in vain. They will be forgotten in the maelstrom of time eternal.
Oh yeah, he is. I learned that in his second game he is after he becomes immortal, so this before he becomes immortal. That's why we see him in the second game.
Yeah, because since he's
So
a
he's-
sorcerer, he uses his
he
swords
is-
to become immortal.
Oh, it's why he hates demons. He became more due to a deal with a demon.
Ah. Maybe that's already happened. That he died. This motherfucker. He just wants us to waste our scrolls on him then.
No, he isn't immortal yet. That's why he's obsessed with immortality.
Ah. I mean, he already hates demons though.
He literally just said, yeah, but like, he also just said, right now that the reason for his fascination with necromancy is for immortality. And just because he hates demons now doesn't mean he's like. Like, he could easily just be pushed to do something and then hate them even more because he fucking fucked up.
You got a shit end of the stick for the deal.
Or just don't read it. That very premise is despicable. Nothing warrants the
Wanton.
I don't know. Wanton torment of innocence. I would rather not have an eternal life. Thank you very much.
Nothing condones torture. All necromancy is vile, whether it is practiced by amateurs or so-called professionals.
You keep your minds on a tighter leash than a priest his hidden desires. You shy away from the necessity that is torment for most short-sighted reasons, for the meaninglessness that is morality.
I just don't want to be immortal.
So we're bad. We're stupid for being good people. We're stupid for being good people.
It's not even about being a good person in this case. I just don't think living forever sounds like a good plan.
It does sound like it can end up sucking very much.
Like, oh yeah, sure, immortality sounds good after, like, living the normal amount of time people expect you to live, and then after that, it sounds like it's going to get real fucking boring.
I mean, he also just said immortality, not
Like, at some point,
eternal youth.
I didn't say eternal youth. I said...
No, I said he said. He said eternal
Fucking-
life, not in.
eternal youth, and, like, immortality literally means you won't die. We die because of sickness, so it means he will live forever. As in, he is not mortal.
Yeah.
He cannot die. So he will live for, like, forever, unless something breaks his immortality. So they are basically just synonyms. They mean the same thing.
What is humanity, after all, but a gathering of germs from which an exalted few may pluck the subject their studies require and vivisect them into oblivion while propelling themselves into eternity.
Oh man, you're such a fucking barrel of laughs, man. You
Glory
every
be this
time.
noble pursuit, tainted as it may be by the blunders of simpletons like Evelyn. Let us eradicate such vermin wherever we find it. Let us seal up every crevice it crawls from. But let us never lose sight of the higher purpose that the art of necromancy promises yet.
Every
So
time
now
you
to
open your
pursue
mouth, you
said
make it just
promise
seem
with haste and
like you're
determination.
a shittier and shittier
Death
person.
is a friend of time. Life is not.
Except they go hand in hand, and sorry to say, you are fucking stupid. You act like you're smart, but you are dumb as hell.
He just
Does he still wants to talk?
By Parbatha's silver talons must we linger so. An idle brain is a demon's workshop, hunter.
You were the one talking to me,
what are you talking?
and you're the one who's long-winded. You are the one who keeps fucking chatting. Okay?
Like,
We're here because you were talking.
Our line is like one sentence, not even a full sentence. Like, you can see it's like a few words. Your sentence is like, every time you open your fucking mouth, you have a fucking novel of how to say, the world is scum and I am better than them. You have a novel to say every fucking time you want to just tell us that.
I've noticed you keep stressing our need to hurry.
I
Why
can
are
tell
you
if
so pressed for
wish,
time?
but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life, because my future, such as it is rooted deeply into my history.
The option at the bottom kind of made me laugh for a second. If you
Tell me more about
I can tell you
Tell me
if
more
you
about your history.
I can tell you if you
Why don't you
wish.
start from the beginning?
I was a king
I need to
in a land of beauty to the east. A land of tigers and slender towers, of deserts and forests, of sun and all the world's wealth.
He complains that we were here for too long, and now he's like, "Oh, you want to know about me? I can tell you more about me."
You want to talk about me? That's a different story.
It's
my favorite subject.
Handsome and all-powerful. Every nobleman would have killed his own brother if I promised to take his daughter's hand in marriage. But I refused their incessant implorations. I knew my life as a sovereign would be self-indulgent, but also a self-delusory one, if I weren't to marry for love. And so a handful of years went by. The king's throne I myself occupied, whereas the queen's throne remained empty but for the court's cats that would nap the afternoons away upon its velvet cushions.
To be fair, I just took a guess, by the way, on when he dealt with a demon, because the thing I read didn't say.
He's telling the story.
So
how
we will
nobody
learn here, I
loved him.
think.
But then one day, a young woman visited my kingdom. She was a poetess and a storyteller. People flocked to her, listened to her every word as if receiving mantras from the divines. I invited her to my palace, and soon our days, our nights, our love and our lives intertwined. Hiraka. How I miss her still. Miss the brilliance of her mind that was both as sparkling and as unbreakable as the diamonds that adorned her body. Oh, and how I miss her body. 1,000 artists I could have commanded, show me beauty. But she would have effortlessly surpassed their every endeavor, and curving her lips into a smile, make them break their sculptures in tearful impotence. And yet, true happiness, that commodity more precious and even more fleeting than the dominion of kings, sang to us like the nightingale, only to depart come the dawn of our first year's unity. A malady overtook me, and I began to wither. It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside. They traveled from realms across the seas, hoping to cure the mighty Jhan, undo the gloom that had befallen the land, and mere vultures that they were, to be paid handsomely for their efforts. But none of their potions took effect. Their salves seared, but did not soothe my fading flesh. Like a ghoul I looked, unburied yet risen from the grave.
Okay, so he has done the thing with the demon.
But broke my brittle fingers only, not its ever-mocking surface. That, Hunter, is a tale for later. I realize I haven't answered your initial question yet. Why it is that I chase time like a lioness its prey. But we'll get to that part later, should time permit.
Does
So
he
I
have more
shall.
to say?
Once
Okay.
upon a time,
No.
I knew
Oops, I accidentally did that.
it, but none of their potion. That, yet once upon a time, I was a young.
No, you did it again!
I keep... Yeah, I know.
True happiness. That
Escape.
more prey
I'll take my leave.
I'm trapped here too. There we go. Now we can talk to each other.
Thought it. Jhan, an all-powerful king, stricken by a horrid plague, the memory of which plagues him still.
Man, I said that with such contempt. Holy shit.
Can't think of what that word's mean right now. Hypochondriac.
Oh. Oh, I know what that word means. They're like they're the people who think they're sick. Like, I don't know. Have you seen any of the Big Bang Theory?
I know what you mean, and also,
Okay.
no. Well, technically yes, but I didn't really pay attention to it, because
Basically, they're the people who take their symptoms and blow them way out of proportion.
No wonder. From the sound of it, he was at death's door.
The higher your station, the deeper you may fall. He may live, but clearly Jhan is a king no longer.
We are considerate.
it's mostly just because I know he isn't lying.
But yeah, the other option was the hypochondriac option was basically he had a small flu and then he fucking went, I'm dying! I've caught the plague!
Yeah, like I said, I know he isn't lying there, so...
Wow.
Risky.
Source Hunter.
Oh.
You have done it, haven't you? You've discovered the fate of Counselor Jake.
I want to not talk to you right now.
By the gods. No one could have predicted such a dark turn of events.
I could have. This world sucks.
Deepest fears made manifest. It just cannot be that they aim to resurrect him. Brachus Rex. It cannot be.
I mean, you don't have to say his name like he's fucking Voldemort. Him, the one who shall not be named.
Forgive me, this news just so very upsetting.
A poof cat, got it, yep.
Thing. It was the king of tyrants, the embodiment of terror. The lunatics that seek his rise must be stopped, whatever the cost.
You seem to take this matter greatly to heart.
Great.
Who?
I was just gonna help you with, greatly.
Ah. He turned to a cat.
I do.
Yes, I can see that.
Indeed. Brachus would unseat the king of demons in sheer perfidy and malice given half a chance. For the world, for you and I to suffer his perversions once more is unthinkable. The possibility of his return is more than I can bear. And Ikara, that she has been dragged into this sorry business adds insult to insufferable injury.
Okay, I mean, if you're so, like, necromancy's not exactly a new thing in this world. You would think that if you're so worried about someone resurrecting this fucking guy, you'd make it, you make it fucking a bit harder to get to his grave. Maybe not mark his grave. Maybe not fucking have his body be intact somewhere.
There have long been rumors that Brachus's corpse was interred in the vaults beneath the abandoned Church of the Seven in Sicil's eastern hinterlands.
We know where that is.
That place is crawling with undead these days, so the rumors may well be true. Where Leandra goes, the dead rise left and right. And even in death, the long-lost tyrant's corruption appears to persist. Come to think of it, did anyone in Evelyn's lair mention the name Cassandra?
Cassandra? No. No one mentioned that name. Why?
It's nothing, Hunter. Nothing. My mind is reeling, but I'll feel better soon. After you've cut short Leandra's dark pursuits.
Okay, that seemed...
She is a great woman, Hunter. A champion of all that is good and pure. She may have killed Jake, but then again, the man turned out to be a vile sorcerer. I can only surmise that she is on to her sister's sinister schemes, which makes me fear for her safety more than anything else. Leandra. I know her, though I haven't seen her in years. As you know, she and Ikara are sisters. It's hard for me to believe that she's leading this cult. That she's delirious enough to go after Brachus Rex. But clearly her involvement can no longer be denied. She's as smart as 10 wizards put together, Hunter. An opponent to be feared. Now, you said Jake and Evelyn called her the Conduit, didn't you? In that case, she may just be the elusive head of the Immaculates.
You see, we don't have to worry about her. We know her weakness. It's ice and electricity.
What are the Immaculates?
There's a village in the forests north of Sicil where a new religion has taken hold. Its followers call themselves Immaculates. And I've heard say they worship a leader called the Conduit. This village is called Silverglen. And if my suspicions turn out to be correct, there is sorcery at work there. Alas, I haven't the foggiest. Another sorcerer, perhaps? Or simply another victim of Leandra's ploys? The Legion didn't find a second body at the scene of the crime, so maybe he escaped with his life after all. Though, just as likely, his body too was taken away by experimentation.
Fun stuff.
And I will see if I can find out more about Ikara's involvement. But in the meantime, please pursue Leandra to the old church in the east and stop her before she can raise Brachus. I beg of you.
Brachus Rex's name alone is enough to turn our friendly neighborhood wizard into a scaredy cat.
I wonder why this ancient specter spooks him so. Arhu doesn't strike me as the type to scare very easily. And so the mystery is solved. Counselor Jake was murdered by the so-called White Witch Ikara. But as it stands, I guess our next concern is Brachus Rex.
Then we know what we must do next. Pursue Leandra and stop her before she brings Brachus Rex back to life.
It looked like the other option was,
Not our problem.
we finished our mission. Like we aren't source hunters, and therefore it would be very important for us to stop the biggest one.
Another way to look at it, Soul, is that we're people who live on this planet, and he's a threat to the entirety of it.
Agreed. If Brackus is half as dangerous as Jake Evelyn claimed, we must prevent him ever seeing the light of day again.
If Brackus is half as dangerous as Jake and
Okay.
Evelyn claimed, we must prevent his ever seeing the light of day again.
I was used to it.
Bold.
Not bold +1.